Okay, we are going to do this tonight. Sorry for the exciting... where's my little knife? That I don't actually like using because it makes me feel funny. Because I'm just that way. It's like scraping your fingers against a blackboard or something. Anyway, this is another Lego City set from the recent lot. I wasn't that keen on buying this one, but I thought that the windscreen looked kind of interesting, so I decided I would. So yeah, so I haven't got around to buying they have the new Lego Technic cheap sets, but I haven't bought them because they've raised the price. And they haven't raised the price of these ones though, so these have survived inflation, at least at the shop that I buy them from. So they're very cheap. But they did raise the price at the shop that I normally buy things from, and I forgot to check at the other shop that I don't normally buy things from, if they've changed the price there. Hey, look at that! It's a Lego, it's a minifigure, collectible minifigure base. I was going to say, where's my little plastic container, but it's actually full of stuff. So, yeah, even though I have repeatedly said that I felt that they were get all the crinkly plastic stuff out of the way, were actually quite good value. And so I'm complaining that they've actually adjusted it to match the value of the set, I guess, which is, you know, just typical. It's just the kind of stuff, the crazy stuff I do. There's two little ropes. Are we meant to have two ropes? I don't know. I hope so. Actually, I hope not. I hope that I win a free bonus thing. Hold on. These are the troublemakers. These ones. So yeah, I haven't bought them yet, even though, to be honest, I just feel like it's such a big jump in comparison. It's I'm going to do it in my head. It's about a 40% price increase. And it's just like, oh. It's a bit of a shame, but I will. It's just that I haven't normally spent that much money on brand new Lego for a while. So I have to prep myself up for it. But I have so many things to spend money on at the moment. It's very depressing. So hopefully at some point I get a new increase in income. But where's this giant piece? There we are. It's a printed piece, so it's pretty good. I think I've had those before though. So yes, this is electric powered, solar powered apparently. I don't think actually that's going to work that well. I think you'd have to have a car-sized battery under the ground for one thing for that to work. Unless it's actually charging off the solar panel, which I don't think is going to work. But hey, who knows? So this is a new base. I haven't had this before. So we'll go along with it. And I haven't. Have I had this piece before? Look at that. It's got it's serrated, corrugated. I wonder what it's for. I did actually go to the shop to try and find another one of these, of the two that I'm missing. And I did end up buying another one. But I'm pretty sure these are both... do I actually have them available? I feel like I do. I have everybody else sitting right here. They're actually... I got another one, another one of those. So now I've got two packets of this guy. Two unopened packets. Because they are quite hard to find. They're obviously but the other two that I haven't got yet are even harder to find. And it's just driving me crazy. And they're really going to town on this new yellow, and I don't know if I like it. I really don't. This is the fluorescent yellow that they've suddenly become all the rage. And I don't think it's the wisest choice. it would be kind of neat for some things, but it just feels like you're going. It's just like a color that you actually have in everyday things. You certainly don't have it in cars. But this is the car from the future because it's powered by a solar powered charging station. So I mean I don't think that would ever work, because if you could charge a car with a solar panel that big in a meaningful amount of time, you could just stick it on top of the car. Like you know, I know that they do have some attempts at solar powered cars, and they aren't particularly successful. So I mean, if they can't do it now, then I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense. But it looks kind of cool, I guess. I mean, this is a toy. It's not meant to be realistic. Let's not dwell on it. Lego is aspiring for the future that we wish we had, not the one that we're probably going to get. So we should be thanking them for their their hopefulness. And now we're going to put this piece. I don't think I've had one of these for a while. Look at that, eh? And what's next? A blue. So I don't envision I don't envision this being too hard. My eye is playing up and it's beginning to bug me a bit. It's okay. Yesterday was a lot worse. I've got a bit of pink eye, as they say. And then I got worried because I thought, oh wait. I looked up because there's a case of measles in New Zealand at the moment, and I looked it up, and one of the symptoms is, you know, an inflamed pink eye type thing. And it's like, oh no, what if I've got measles? I have been like vaccinated several times over for measles, but you know, still, I'm like, but I don't think it is. I had this problem with my eye about 4 years ago, and I went to the doctors and they gave me a thing for it, and it didn't help at all. So then I ended up going to the walk-in eye specialist place at the hospital, which is free, but you have to wait I had to wait like 6 hours to get it all done. And it wasn't all just waiting for my turn. It was like, wait, go see this person, then go sit down, and then go get this other thing done, and then go get this. And it was pretty thorough, right? I mean, I ended up getting a chest x-ray and a bunch of other things. And then I got 2, checkups afterwards. So they really put the effort in, but they couldn't really find anything wrong. They could see that there was something wrong with my eye, but they couldn't work out why. Where on earth is this piece? So they just gave me some. This looks a bit different. How many of these do I actually get that are actually 4 long? I don't know. This feels thinner. This feels like a new piece, and it's hard to say exactly why, but I don't think I've ever had this piece before. Yeah, so they gave me that, but they gave me way too much. So I've still got 2 bottles of the stuff that's unopened, and I shouldn't actually use it because it's a bit old. But the last time I cleared it up by using, it says on the bottle 6 drops a day or something for a month. They wanted me to use it for 3 months. There's no way I'm using a steroid or anything for even remotely close to that. I've had very bad experiences with anything like that. So I used it 3 times a day for 2 days, and then 2 times a day for another 2 days or something like that, and then 1 time a day for another 2 days, and quit it. And that held it up real fine. So I'm thinking, if it doesn't go away, because I don't want to go to the doctors and then them to give me something that's not going to work, and then me to have to go back and wait 6 hours. I mean, this time it's not so bad because it doesn't hurt so bad. Like last time, I was really miserable. It was and I had to sit around, and I couldn't read a book because I couldn't really stare at anything. It was too hard to look at anything. And I couldn't really do anything or play video games. So it was just a horrible, what on earth can I do for 6 hours or whatever, however long I spent there, and not going, bonkers. But I got through it. But I don't want to do it again, just to get the same thing. So hopefully it goes away tomorrow and I don't have to make any tough decisions. But you never know. Now, where are we up to? So all in all, it wasn't the greatest day, though I did get to go outside, which is nice. Because yesterday it rained an awful lot because we're having a cyclone, and it's impacted a lot of people's lives pretty poorly. But I've got away mostly fine. But all I did yesterday was go for a run. Did I mention this yesterday? Because I had a video yesterday. I must have mentioned it. And got very wet. Very wet. What am I actually adding on here? I'm adding these two things in. And today it's not raining at all, but it was very windy. Like very windy. And it stopped being windy now. I don't think it's too bad. Like, it's probably a little bit windy, but it's not overly windy. It doesn't feel like the trees are going to fall over, or your roof is going to get damaged. So that's always the thing that I live in fear of, because it's like, oh, that's going to be so much you have to sort out if your roof gets damaged. So that's all good, but not good for everybody else, because lots of people around the country have had a bad day. So this can go there, and this can go there. And again, I'm not going to sleep when I should. I should just pack it all in and go to sleep. How do these things fit? Oh, they go over the top, right. And then this one goes here. But this is a fun set. I wanted to do this. This is enjoyable. Now tomorrow it should be a sunny day, and it should maybe feel a little bit like summer, because it's been an amazingly not particularly summery summer this year. Put that in the wrong place, which makes me worried, because it's like, this is our La Nina weather system time. People keep saying this is the cause of this, along with climate change or whatever. But it's like it's this is extended out because of climate change, potentially, maybe. We've certainly had cyclones before, so I'm not going to say the cyclone was that. But the flooding of recent times was very unusual. So anyway, next will be an El Nino event, when it gets all dry or something, apparently. It's like, oh my gosh, is that going to be worse? Are we going to end up having bushfires? I think I discussed this before, and the other thing is the winter going to be, because last winter was a pretty mild winter in New Zealand. It was rather rubbish. Well, it was good if you like having a mild, relatively warm winter, which, to be honest, I kind of do. But I kind of feel like, wow, it's probably going to be an absolutely miserable winter. It's going to be all raining all the time if it's going to keep up like this. So, who knows? I should investigate what the predictions are. But then eventually there'll be like a dry, horrible summer, hot summer with no water. We'll have to go back to being told all the time that the water's about to run out, and you should not water your garden and things like that. So we're going here. So this is quite okay. I just feel this yellow. This yellow is getting on my nerves, and they're made of the same yellow too. The person we haven't built yet. They're in there with the soccer team, with the soccer person. Football referee lady has come along and said, "Hey, I like your clothes. Here are your legs. They are blue. And do they have a hat? They do have a hat. And it's quite a nifty little hat. And we're going along. Are we supposed to put the wheels on yet? I can't remember if I just was playing around with the wheel. Well, today I did actually try to do some car stuff. Did this wrong. I thought my brake light was broken, so I tried to work out and got most of the way to actually how to get to my brake light. But then I'm like, well, actually, is this actually a brake light? Because it looks like it is, but it's actually red on the cover, and it's not on the other side. And I'm like, does my car actually only have one little brake light at the back on one side of the car, and on the other side of the car is another light that's not the brake light, and that's why it doesn't come on when I put the brakes on. So I'm going for my warrant of fitness, which is what you have to get in New Zealand to say that your car's legal to drive tomorrow. And they can tell me if I've actually... It's like, maybe that isn't actually meant to turn on. Maybe that's actually another red light for like... That's like the... I don't know why there'd be an extra red light. I don't understand. Like, why... I didn't realize that cars could be asymmetrical in their lighting. But maybe they can be. So this is also printed, which is good. I was a bit worried about this pattern here on the front because it looked like it could be a sticker. But I'm actually impressed that this is all printed pieces, like especially this one, because I don't think I've ever I've seen this solar panel thing before, I'm sure. But oh my gosh, these are just made for this, aren't they? So this is why they always end up in the pick-a-brick box. They must make millions of these, and they just don't need them for all these cars that they're building. But they do work well in the car. We're running out of time-ish, not really. So put those on, and then we have to get this one. Here's the rear spoiler, which looks a bit weird. And here are the basically the reason I got this. And how come I can only... Oh, there we are. Because I don't think I've ever had this particular kind of screen before. Maybe I should put the driver in first. I know they've got this there, so they've kind of designed it. Because I don't think... Oh no, the other ones do. They kind of have... They have the studs on the side, don't they, most windows? But anyway, that's that. Let's put the wheels on, because there ain't much else to do. We have to put the driver in though. I think that's the reason why I didn't put the wheel on, is that my brain was like, well, which way around did they go? Do they always go with that bit on the inside and that bit on the outside? This bit on the outside? I guess that makes the most sense. But you never know. Cough, cough. And we're done. So I am a bit worried about getting those two, because it's going to turn out that these are quite hard to get. They're really, like, I went to the shop where like I got the Bugs Bunny from the last time we had the big Bugs Bunny fiasco, where everybody had taken all the Bugs Bunnies out of the boxes before anybody else had a chance to get them. And then I went to a shop that doesn't leave them in their boxes, but instead put them in a big pile. And when you leave them in the box, people turn up early in the morning as soon as they turn up, as they come into the shop. And then they know where in the box they are, and then they just take them that way. And by then it's too late. But this place, you can't do that. You have to actually go through and feel all the bags. So I was kind of like hoping, well, they've got an awful lot. They had hundreds and hundreds of these. And it's like, well, surely I must be able to find one. Then I have to think, well, someone's gone through already to try and find these. Where's the place in this big pile that they wouldn't have actually looked? So, you have to go like, well, I'm going to look in the middle, and they're going to dig deep in the middle. That's probably what the last person did. So it's like very hard, but there must be some in this pile. But it's just like, I spent a long time today, and it's like, well, I'll have to spend like an hour or two to go through every single packet, or maybe an hour. And it's like, I felt pretty silly, because it's not like in other shops where it's a little bit private. You can sort of like do it without everybody watching you all the time, but in this one you have to. So I don't know, hopefully the last shop that I'm going to go to, okay, person, what is their name? They can't be called Benny or Penny or something. They're going to have to be called what's a brown name? As a person with synesthesia, or someone who's synesthetic, I can actually say, straight off the top of my head, what I think is a brown letter, other than letter B. They don't quite fit. So hold on. Yeah, it is a bit boring that certain letters, like the only green thing that I see is the letter G, because that's the letter green starts with, which is a bit of a shame. So I think they have to lean back. So if they're sitting upright, I've got to get their hands correct. This is making this video take way too long. Put that there. Put them in the middle. So the problem with these windows is that they're very low profile. Yeah, they don't fit. It doesn't fit with that. Okay, so they do have to lean back a bit. So that's a bit of a disappointment. And even then, do they actually fit when they're leaning back? We're just going to find out. No, I don't think they do. They don't. They must. They do. They do fit. There is a bit of clearance in there, so we could have perhaps got them a little bit higher up. But it's like, well, some people do drive their car like that. Well, I don't. I'd like to pretend that they don't drive their car like that. But actually, this car turns out, to be honest, I'm going to say this car is better than I thought it would be. This actually feels. It has the feel of an actual toy car. So, apart from this bit here is a bit weak. I could have just clipped it on a bit better. You can lift it up by that, so it's not too bad. So, yeah, and you do get the extra rope. So my whatever sculptures, I could use that instead of using a chain, maybe, which I have to try and do. Maybe I should just go buy another one of these, and then I can have 4 chains, and then I'll be able to do it instead of having to work out where the rest of it. Because I keep getting them, and then I keep putting them in boxes and forgetting about them, and so I'm supposed to put them aside to make these silly sculpture things. Anyway, that's better than I thought it was. It's quite cool. The yellow looks good for here. I'm gonna say that it looks really good there, but maybe not here. Like if they put yellow, if they put like standard yellow there, and fluorescent yellow there, and standard yellow here, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, thanks for watching. That's that set. Where does it plug in? It tells you on the box. So he's definitely leaning back on that one. So it just goes onto the top. Alright, so they're just pretty lazy on that. We're not going to add that part on. We're just going to pick any available stud. So I guess in fairness, they did deliberately put a studded piece there instead of putting a smooth one. So there's some minimal effort. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Where did the box go? So I don't think that you can. They don't have a list of the other ones coming along. But anyway, that was better than I thought it would be. Thanks for watching. Nothing else to say. Like, share, subscribe. Blah 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 blah. Bye.